Hello, I'm MC Toon, and it is Tuesday night, and that means we have a debate. The debate tonight is whether or not a sextant can work on insert your version of the shape of the Earth here. I have with me in studio, virtual studio, both Fight the Flat Earth and Bumpy Earth, aka HHH or Hip Hop Hippie, which I just can't not call you Hip Hop Hippie because this Bumpy Earth thing is crazy. How are you guys doing?
Doing pretty good.
Craig?
I'm absolutely ecstatic for this debate. I love learning something new, and tonight apparently I'm going to learn how a sextant can work on a flat Earth. So I can't wait.
Absolutely. So, if anybody's wondering, this entire debate has a web page dedicated to it with the rules that are going to happen, the format, any information provided by any of the debaters, and since there is a challenge built into this debate, the details on the challenge will go on the web page as they are presented live. So you can all follow along. If you're interested in trying to do the work yourself, you can do that yourself. So I'll give you a quick overview of what we're going to do. We're all going to introduce ourselves, little talk, little chat, chance for banter. Then Hip Hop Hippie will spend about 10 minutes, more or less. The time isn't critical as long as he has a chance to cover all the details, explaining how a sextant works using flat Earth, because that's what he thinks the Earth is shaped like. Then FTFE will do the same. He will explain how a sextant works on the globe. Then the blind challenge. Neither of them know any of the details about this. They have a general idea that it is in the northern hemisphere, that it is the Pacific Ocean. They have the year, and they know it's on a boat. That's essentially it, right? Both of you, can you confirm that that's what I've sent both of you?
Yeah. Boats. They're the things in the water, right? Not the ones in the sky.
Yes, not the sky boats.
Cool. Right. Yeah. Got it. No worries.
Yep. Sky boats are common. All right. Anyway, both of them. Then they have a chance to do the work themselves uninterrupted. They can use whoever they want to assist them. It doesn't matter if they have help. I invite that if they wanted call in a friend, phone a friend, have them check their work. Whatever you do, that's fine. Do it, like turn off your microphone and do that. During that time, I'll talk with the audience and stuff. Then they will both email me the location that they think this observation was taken at. Once I've received that, I will put up on screen the answer, and then we will discuss the answer and see who is closest. Including this will include the book from which the observation were taken and the author and all that stuff. So that's the overview. Follow along on the webpage. And so now it's time for Hip Hop Hippies / Bumpy Earther to introduce yourself. Go ahead.
Well, what's up, guys? Everybody knows who I am. Just want to say hi to my beautiful wife, Dandelion.
I love
you.
You're married now?
Pretty much. I mean,
well, you're in Colorado. You can just declare that you're married, and you are.
Yeah, we are married.
We're
married. We're soulmates. So that's all that matters. But yeah, I'm ready to get this down, get this debate over with. So let's start the show.
All right. And Craig, your turn. Introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm FTFE. I'm from the channel that does to stupidity what Anakin Skywalker did to the Jedi Daycare Center. Ecstatic to take part in this debate. And I just want to take a minute to say hello to my wonderful, beautiful wife who I got married to in a ceremony in front of family and friends in the eyes of the law, April the 7th, 2007. And I'm actually married to. Hello. Love you, Mrs. Fight.
Excellent. Well, and now we have scheduled time for some banter, at which point we're going to compliment Hip Hop Hippie on his new hairstyle. I got that wrong earlier, Craig. It's going to be Hip Hop Hippie that gets his hairstyle. So you didn't show us your hairstyle there, Hippie. Maybe sent a picture later.
Chat saying the audio is out of sync.
It probably is.
Interesting.
I probably can't fix it right now. So sorry. Gotta live with it. So then the next thing is that we're supposed to deride FTFE about his goofy accent.
Yeah, I do have one of those.
Goofy accent.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else that you'd like to add, either before we get right into it here?
Nope.
I can't get over the fact that I am now convinced you are part hamster. It just makes sense. I mean, look at you.
Yep. Well-known fact. So, okay. Bumpy Earth. You have about 10 minutes to present, and if you want to share your screen, will let me change that so that the settings allow it. You will be able to share your screen, and I will present whatever you share. When you're ready, go ahead.
Okay. So this, I got to be honest, the sextant took me down some crazy roads. This is really kind of over my head, honestly. I've learned a lot, and I feel like I still have learned nothing. But when it gets complicated, I like to just break it down to the basics. So, sextant. What is a sextant? I'm pretty sure we all know, but let me just read off of Wikipedia here. Is that good enough for you guys?
Yeah, go right ahead.
All right. A sextant is a doubly reflecting navigational instrument that measures the angular distance between two visible objects. The primary use of a sextant is to measure the angle between an astronomical object and the horizon for the purpose of celestial navigation. Can we all agree on that? Okay. So with the sextants, the estimation of this angle is called the altitude. It's known as the sighting or shooting the object or taking a sight, the angle, and at a time when it was measured can be used to calculate a position line on a nautical or aeronautical chart. For example, sighting the sun or moon or Polaris at night in the northern hemisphere, in parentheses, to estimate latitude with sight reduction. Sighting height of the landmark can give a measure of distance off and held horizontally. A sextant can measure angles between objects for position. I'm reading. I got it zoomed in because I can't see. So give me a second. For position on a chart, a sextant can also be used to measure the lunar distance between the moon and other celestial objects such as a star or planet in order to determine the Greenwich Mean Time, or hence longitude. So when using a sextant, you have the angle of elevation, right? It's the upward angle from the horizontal to a line of sight from the observer to some point of interest. The angle of elevation, which is the angle formed by the line of sight and the horizontal plane for an objective or for an object above the horizontal. Measurement of an elevation angle, the term angle of elevation, depends on angle from the horizontal. Horizontal is flat. So it's the horizontal plane is flat. You need that for an angle. I think that's all I need. I'm done with my presentation.
That's how you use the sextant to obtain your location on the Earth?
Well, you need a horizontal baseline, right?
Okay, but
horizontal is flat.
so when I give you the measurements of the sextant, you didn't really cover what you're going to do with them. I just want to make sure you have plenty of opportunity to cover everything you need so that when we review later, so somebody could watch this and say, how would I use a sextant to find my location on the surface of the Earth?
Well, it's measuring elevation angles. You need to measure an elevation angle of a celestial object. You can't measure an angle if you don't have a horizontal baseline, a flat baseline. You can't have a curved adjacent.
Okay. But you didn't answer the question. Nobody knows yet how to use that information to find your location on flat Earth.
No, this is just how you use the sextant in general.
To find your location on the face of the Earth. That's what we're doing. Right? That was in the email. Right, but that's fine. If you don't want to share the details of how you're going to use it, I guess that's fine.
Well, am I wrong? Is that not how you use a sextant? Do you not use a sextant to find elevation angles?
Yeah, and then what do you do with them? Those angles to locate yourself on the surface of the Earth. That's the important part. Is how does that information tell you where you are on the Earth?
Use nautical charts, right?
You don't ask me if I'm right. You're the authority on how to use a sextant
I'm not
on flat Earth.
I told you this is like way above my head, but we're breaking it down to basics.
I believe you. Yes.
Sextant, you get angles of elevation. You need a horizontal baseline. You can't have an angle without a horizontal baseline. Do you not understand that?
This is your chance to explain the details of how a sextant can be used to find the place that you are on the Earth.
Well, you use it to measure the angle of elevation of celestial objects. Angles use a horizontal baseline that's flat. You don't have a angle with a curved adjacent. Pretty self-explanatory. So you need a flat surface or a flat baseline to measure an angle. You can't have a curved surface to do that with. So don't know what to tell you. I know it's hard. I know it's hard for you guys to understand and grasp, but it's pretty simple. It's like basic geometry.
It's basic geometry. Okay, but how come you're not explaining the basic geometry of how you use those measurements to identify where you are on the Earth? That's the goal. That's the
measurements though?
The angle. A sextant measures an angle, as you said.
Yes, exactly.
And then you take those angles and do what with them? What do you do once you get those measurements, those angles? You got about 3 minutes to explain that.
You find your location.
Okay. All right. Is that all? Is that all you have?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I will stop the timer. That was interesting. So, all right. Greg, it is your turn to explain how you can use a sextant to identify where you are on the Earth. So,
okay, thank you. Do you just want to make me full screen?
Sure.
I'm sad I didn't learn how to use a sextant on the flat Earth.
All right. Yeah, just go.
Okay. So, Hip Hop Hippie's right. You use a sextant to measure the angular separation between two objects. This can be between anything. It can be between two known locations of buildings, between two different celestial objects. The most common use is to find the angular elevation of a celestial body above the horizon for purposes of celestial navigation. Although in my personal experience of using a sextant at sea, which I did for many hours, the horizon actually wasn't used that often. most of the time we would use an artificial horizon of some kind by using a bubble sextant or a reflecting pool of water with oil on top to what you would do then is you would sight the object in the sky, match its reflection with the object in the reflecting pool, and then you just half that angle that to get your elevation above the horizon. It's generally quite difficult to accurately use the horizon because you're going to be moving. There can be quite a lot of extreme refractive effects, and although it is you can use it to find the angle of something above the horizon, it's not always the easiest way to do it. But that's the most common use for a basic standard sextant, right? However, it's what you do with that information that shows that the Earth is a globe and that sextants can only work on a globe. So what I'm going to do here is quick drawing to demonstrate what I mean. Right, this is the Earth, and this is the line going from north to south. So you've got your North Pole up here, and you've got your South Pole down here. Stars are really, really far away and a lot bigger than Earth. What that means is that their light reaches us parallel. And on Earth, if you are at the North Pole, your zenith, which is 90 degrees directly above you, will be Polaris, right? And that means that Polaris's light is coming from very far away and reaching us parallel. So here is the light coming from Polaris to the North Pole. Now, what this means also is that any point on the Earth, that light is also going to be coming parallel. So let's say little FTFE is up here, all right? And I want to find out how far away from the North Pole I am. I can do that by looking at Polaris from my position. The curved adjacent thing always confuses me because you don't use the surface of the Earth for your sighting. You look at the horizon, which creates a tangent, right? So your baseline is a tangent to your position, which is here, right? So that didn't come up very well. I'll use a different color. This is your baseline that you measure angles from. Now, like I said, at this point, the light from Polaris is also going to be coming parallel. So the light from Polaris is going to be hitting you over here. That's the same light that's hitting up here. And anywhere on the surface of the Earth, that light is going to be hitting you parallel. Now, you have to measure the angle that the light is coming in from your local zenith. Now, your local zenith is 90 degrees this way. Okay. So for your position here, your zenith, 90 degrees is straight up. And that means the tangent to it here is your 90 degrees that you measure the angular elevation of the star from. And what this means is that this angle here and this angle here are going to be the same. So let's say this is angle A, which means this is also angle A. So what you do is you measure this angle here, which we'll call angle B, and you see how far above this tangent, how many degrees above this tangent the thing you're sighting is. So if we're sighting Polaris from this point, let's say that here we sighted Polaris at 40 degrees, right? So we looked at it in our sextant and we saw that based on our tangent to the surface, the light from Polaris was hitting us at 40 degrees. That means that the complement to 40 degrees, if you take away from the 90, which is your tangent, means that angle A is going to be 50 degrees, which means this angle is also 50 degrees, right? So we've, at this point, standing on the surface of the Earth, using the tangent, we've measured the angle that the light from Polaris is coming in, and we've seen that it measures the Polaris to us at this point is 40 degrees above the horizon, leaving us 50 degrees off of the 90 degrees that we have, right? So this angle is the same as this angle. That angle there is also 50 degrees. Now, we can use that information to find how far away from the North Pole we are. We say the radius of the Earth is 3,959, right, miles, right? That's the radius of the Earth. So to get the circumference is 2 pi r. Which if you do the maths, the circumference comes out to 24,875. 1 degree on Earth with a circumference that, to get 1 degree, you would divide 1 by 360, times it by c. And on Earth, we find out that 1 degree is 69.1 miles, right? 1 degree on Earth is 69.1 miles. So we've got 50 degrees. So what we would do is we would times the 69.1 by the 50, and we would find out that we are 3,455 miles from the North Pole. 1 degree is 69, 50 miles times that gives us how many miles we are. So we now know that based on the angle of the light that came in from Polaris, that we are somewhere on Earth that is 3,455 miles away from the North Pole. Now, if we look to other stars and, if we have charts that tell us what the angular elevation of stars should be at certain points, we could look at other stars and find out their angular elevation and add their data to this. The more stars you get, the more accurate you can be with where you are. You wouldn't just have a circle of equal altitude. You would be able to start homing in on your actual location. But this is how it shows that you could use a sextant on Earth to determine, in this case, how far away from Polaris you are and how it works because the Earth is a sphere. As far as I'm aware, there's no explanation for this if the Earth is flat. Now, that's very simple. There is a little bit more to it. For instance, we need to think about a horizon dip. What that means is that, in general, when you take the reading with the right, let's say that's the surface of the sea, right, and you've got your boat here with a person up here taking his reading, right? If he's looking at the horizon, which is over here, it's obviously above the surface. So we also have to take into account that there is a dip to the horizon, and because we don't take the sextant reading from, exactly there. So there's always, wherever you take it from, there's going to be a dip to the horizon that you have to take into account, which is also a problem for the Earth being flat, because that would mean the horizon is not rising to eye level. But to accurately calculate things, you have to take into account the dip to the horizon and do the appropriate adjustments. And then obviously you have to think about atmospheric refraction, which luckily we've got nautical almanacs for, which can give us the adjustments for refraction. And using trilateration with the methods that I've mentioned, you can then determine your location on Earth. And it shows that this only works if the Earth is a sphere. It shows that the function of a sextant is based on parallel light hitting a sphere, and using the circumference that we know the Earth has, we can do the calculations and figure out where we are. As far as I'm aware, there is no explanation behind the mechanism for how this would work on a flat Earth. And using that method with a bit more maths behind it, you can actually quite easily calculate your latitude and longitude on Earth. So I guess that's the end of my presentation. Apparently you're muted.
I was muted. Very nice. Thank you. I didn't want to interrupt. So I'm going to email both of them the details, the challenge details. I'll also have it up on screen. So sextant challenge. There it is. It is in the mail as we speak. So, but I have ready to show right now the actual details. So you guys can look at it as you get in the email, but I will read to you and everybody the actual challenge. It is July 18, 1982, and you find yourself lost at sea. You have no memory of what happened before. But you only know you're within 1,200 miles of Hawaii, and that your boat is traveling on a heading of 252 degrees at 6.9 knots. You take sextant readings of just 2 stars from an eye height of 9 feet. Vega, at time 22, 37, and 30 seconds. The sextant reading is 47 degrees, 22.5 minutes. And Alcade, at time 22, 40, and 14 seconds. So almost 3 minutes later, with a sextant reading of 59 degrees, 14.0 minutes. Your watch's zone description is plus 7 hours. So you know your UTC plus 7. The index correction on the sextant is 0 and the watch error are 0. So the challenge is to find your position as accurately as you can. You may proceed.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Yeah. Could I just clarify the times? So it would be for me 5:37 a.m. for the first one and 5:40 a.m. for the second one the following day, correct?
No, the other way.
Well, that's 7 hours. Sorry. So right, my bad. So it's going to be 3:37 p.m. for the first one and 3:40 p.m. for the second one.
I will verify that for you in a second. So you know, so everybody knows this information. The challenge was put together by primarily Thad, who's in the chat here. And what I don't want to say what your last name is here without Thad. Where is it? All right, yep, he has it. Thad Fetaplace. I hope I said that right. And also with assistance from Tiny Captain. So Thad, if you have an answer for that, just to help that. We have all the details coming, but so Hip Hop Hippie, any questions?
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not a navigator, so
That was the challenge, though. You agreed to this.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know, but
you agreed. You know you agreed to come on here and use flat Earth geometry to tell us where these sextant readings would put you on the flat Earth, and you just said you're not going to do it?
But you're using flat Earth geometry.
No, we are not using flat Earth geometry at all.
You are. You're using a flat baseline.
That is your assertion. That is absolutely not true.
Craig just said Craig just said I was right. He said he's using a flat baseline.
Which is a tangent to your looking down, not the surface of the Earth.
Yeah, it's a straight line, a flat surface. You just assume that there's a curve that it's tangent to. But yeah,
that's why you have the horizon dips.
You drew a flat line. No, the horizon's not Earth curve.
Yeah, did I not then explain afterwards that you have to take into account the horizon dip because you're always going to be taking the reading from above the horizon?
Well, yeah, the horizon's horizontal. It's not curved.
So you assert.
No, so you assert. You guys are using a horizontal line, calling it a tangent to a curved surface.
No, let me make it clear, because I have this diagram right here. This is the horizontal line from the viewer's point.
Exactly.
That is not what is being used. This one down here is the line being used. You see this one? A straight line from the observer
straight line
to the horizon. A straight line. Yep, right there.
Yeah,
Nothing
the
curved.
horizon's not Earth curves. The
Nothing
horizon's not
curved.
Earth curves.
Nothing
The horizon's
curved.
not Earth curves. You're
All right.
calling it Earth
So
curves.
basically, you are admitting that there is no way in hell that a flat earther could ever use flat Earth geometry to find their position using celestial navigation.
You're admitting.
That's what
that
you've
you're
just
using
done.
Flat Earth geometry.
That's what
to
you've
find
just
your
done, Hip
position.
Hop Hippie. You have
That's what you're doing.
completely, absolutely
That's
failed.
No,
And you
that's
should
what
be
you're doing.
embarrassed for yourself
You
that
should
you
be
are
embarrassed.
such a complete
You should be
failure.
embarrassed. You're
Wow.
the one drawing straight, flat
Wow.
lines.
No, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Straight line. No such thing as a curved adjacent in here. See, nothing is curved that we're measuring.
Exactly.
You have
Exactly.
lost. You have
There's no curved
completely,
adjacent.
you've completely
Exactly.
lost.
There's no curved
What
adjacent.
a pathetic, what a pathetic showing you have done. All right, Hip Hop Hippie. Time to be quiet. Time to be quiet and let the adults talk.
How your sphere got started?
Hip Hop
Even know where
Hippie.
it came from?
Time for
Even
you to
know
be
where the
quiet and let
origin
the adults
came
talk.
from?
He's
You know
going
where it
to
came from?
Hippie.
You know where it came
Shush.
from.
Shush. We're gonna let the adults are gonna talk now and talk about how you actually use real geometry to figure out where you are
No curved lines,
on the
right?
Earth. All right, go ahead, Craig.
No curved lines, right? No curved lines.
Go
for
ahead,
an
Craig.
angle.
I think it's latitude 28, longitude 153, 20 degrees 24.
Let me pull it up here quick. Say it again.
Latitude 28 degrees, longitude 153 degrees 24 minutes.
You're close. You are close. Couple degrees off, though.
Couple of degrees off. I mean,
yes, which is a bit of an error, but better than an absolute complete failure by the Flat Earth showing here. I'll put up.
How far off am I so I can maybe try and do some corrections?
I will put it up on screen here. I mean, what a complete failure! What a complete failure! All right, the book is Hawaii by Sextant by David Birch. I have a copy of a different book by David Birch here called Celestial Navigation, the complete
that's not bad.
home study course. There you go.
I mean, I kind of used very standard measurements for dip correction and refraction measurements and stuff. But I'm only I'm 3 degrees off on latitude and 3 degrees off on longitude. I'm going to say I did pretty well there.
I'll have words with you later. I'm kidding. All right, hold on. Nobody can see that. Just a second. Go back. Put the whole head up again. There you go. All right, 28 latitude. The correct answer is 25 and 15 degrees, and the longitude
Both of them.
You said 150 in 24 minutes.
I said 153 and
153. It's 150 and 25.9.
Right. I mean, bear in mind, I've not, I use a sextant for many years, but it's been probably 17, 18 years since I used one. And this is going off of the basic information I've got and the basic apps that I can use. And, I didn't put in any heading details or speed or anything. So there may have been slight variations from the fact that they, time taken between and stuff, but I think 3 degrees off on both isn't bad.
Yeah. Well, Tiny Captain, who is quite experienced in this, says for a 2-star calculation, it's very good. So, all right. Well, Hip Hop Hippie, thank you for losing. You have destroyed Flat Earth yet again. Do you have anything to say about your shameful presentation here today? Any parting words to describe and cry about your total failure?
Total failure.
Absolute, complete, total failure.
Bob the side says he got 23 degrees 37 by 155.1. So He was about 3 degrees off on latitude the other way, but about 5 degrees off on longitude.
So maybe
yeah.
we can show how you did it.
Mhm.
In a minute here. I'm trying to get Hip Hop Hippie to do his final head hang in shame on his way out. Anything?
Let's see how he did it.
Oh, you want to see how it's actually done? How the adults do it? Okay. Craig, what you want to?
Yeah, well, I explained method, right? I explained the method that is used. You get the angles of elevation above your local horizontal and use known data on Earth. You use known data on Earth for how far above certain points stars are. If a star is 90 degrees above your zenith, that is the star's GP, right?
Do you know what horizontal means?
If we know that a star is a certain amount of degrees above the horizon, using that information, because we know what his GP is, we can calculate, our circle of equal latitude away from that.
Go ahead,
GP.
show it. Show us what you did. Show us what you did.
I'm getting up the screen that I used. If you give me 1 second.
Do you know what horizontal means? Do you know what that word means?
Yes.
What does it mean? What does horizontal mean?
I'll put up a graphic aid for you. That would be this line right here. This one. This
what
line
is
here.
Horizontal?
That line there that diverges from the surface of the Earth.
What does horizontal mean?
Right there. That's this one.
What does horizontal mean?
This line right here. All right.
Can you answer a question?
Will my thing not display? Here we go. Right.
It does not mean flat, by the way. So
what does horizontal mean?
Does not mean flat. Yeah.
What does it mean?
Horizontal is a plane tangent. Just a second, Craig. I'll answer. I'll answer for Hip Hop Hippie. Horizontal would be a plane tangent to the surface of the curved Earth at one point. That's what that is. I'm sorry, you don't understand geometry, so
you don't know
I'm
what
not
horizontal means. You have no idea what horizontal means.
It is a plane orthogonal. Actually, orthogonal to the downward direction.
Horizontal is parallel to the plane of the horizon.
No, it's not.
At right angles to the vertical.
At right angles to the vertical, yes, absolutely.
Do you know what plane means?
That's quite true, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Do you know what plane means?
Yeah, that would be the plane that's tangent. Plane that's tangent to the vertical.
No.
Or tangent to the point, orthogonal to the vertical.
And what does plane mean?
It is a flat surface, which is tangent.
Flat surface. Yes. Thank you very much.
Tangent to the curve. Yeah, tangent to the curve of the surface of the Earth.
No. Thank you very much. Have a good night, folks.
Are you that dumb that you don't understand the geometry? I understand, being a flat earther, that the math is beyond you. Oh, he left already.
Oh, he's rage quit.
An absolute failure.
How long did it take?
It's 40 minutes. To nobody's surprise. He has no answer.
Accurately what I did, right? And I want to give total candor, right? I didn't sit here and do a bunch of maths myself. I let something do it for me because it's all been done, right? We have all the information. So all I need to do is plug in the numbers. And I use this. It's an app called Astral Navigator. And you simply select the star that you want. So I selected the 2 stars, Vega and Alcalade. I plugged in the angular elevation. Now, there is more advanced information that you can put in, but if you just leave it as is, which is what I did, it uses standard kind of index error, air temperature, pressure, and refraction values. And then it pumps out your position for you. And it does it based on the method that I described, right? So I'm fine using this because the method that I described is how the calculations are done with this simple app. But Hip Hop Hippie couldn't have used this app because everything this app uses, from the programmed in almanacs to the methodology behind actually gathering that data, requires the Earth to be a sphere of 39, 59 miles. It's a fact. You cannot argue with that fact. I use this because it is how I described how it works. It just means that I didn't have to do all the maths myself. I let that do it for me.
Oh, what a glorious failure for Flat Earth. I mean, he should hang his head in shame. Because here's you did it by hand, did it on the computer, it doesn't matter. It uses the celestial sphere for the positioning of the stars. A sphere, not a dome, not a plane, not anything that works on flat Earth. It also uses and completely relies on 69.1 nautical or miles, or 60 nautical miles per degree in any direction. Vertical.
Of the Earth being the globe, right? Because it's literally defined as the division between the arc of the equator to the North Pole. Like, and I'd like to respond to PJCnet in the chat if I can.
Yeah.
Who said, so FTFE didn't do it himself, and so the cool challenge is set up with the assumption of the globe. Well, that was the point.
Yes.
I had to do it based on the assumption of the Earth being a globe.
That is
and
the
he
point.
had to do it with the assumption of the Earth being flat. I described the methodology behind how it is done, and I used an algorithm that calculates it based on that methodology. Yes, I assumed the Earth was a globe because that's how
100%
get the measurements for a sextant. But he had to assume the Earth was flat and do the same. And not only couldn't, but he refused to even attempt it. And I'll tell you why, because it's impossible.
Oh, Oakley, 10th Man Kiwi, you guys are the biggest losers on the globe. I can't believe that you've tried. Oh, don't let me forget, Mitchell. You guys have tried for a year to talk about sextants and failed. Your protege, Hip Hop Hippie, failed to produce anything. He didn't even know how a sextant worked. All he could do was read the Wikipedia article. What?
You could tell he was reading the Wikipedia
Well,
article.
he said he was. And then all that he had was misunderstanding the geometry that, yes, the horizontal is a plane which diverges from the surface of the Earth. Saying that a plane exists doesn't mean that the Earth is a plane. It means that it's... Oh my gosh.
It's like word association for them, isn't it?
Oh, that's
they hear a word they think works for them. Oh, the Earth's flat. Well, no, I was just using that in a sentence, actually.
So all right, let me we've got some questions here from people that I mean he's gone. He rage quit instantly. But let me read let's see. From Why Kick a Moo Cow does a member super chat, says Spider-Man beats Batman in an MMA fight.
Get out. There's no way. Absolutely no way.
They don't even live in the same universe. I don't know how that could happen. And Cretan Bull says Hippie was caught off guard. He was Googling sex space tense.
Sex tense.
All right. Pronon 1990 is a new member at Newton level. Thank you for that. All right. Let me roll back up to the this section here. All right. Alyssa, before it even started, said, prediction, 8 Hip Hop Peppy won't do the math, but will deflect. How perfectly you nailed that, Alyssa. Wow.
She didn't even really need to do the math, all right? Given a lot more time, and if I wasn't feeling so crappy in myself at the moment, I could have sat down and done all the maths based on, there's a few different methods to do it, right? But that would have taken a lot of time. And the thing is, I don't need to, because it's been done, and I can just plug the numbers in, and anyone at sea is going to have something that they can do the same with.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They're going to have all the tables and everything available to them, because we've measured the angles to stars, and we know what their GP is. We know how to use trilateration. We don't need to do everything from scratch every time.
Yeah. All right. Let me. Oh, Flat Earth died again today. All right, hold on. I gotta. Let's see. So, Scott Stratford for $1.99 says, "Hey MC, good to see you. Good to see you too. Although I can't actually see you, I just see the typing that you did. But thank you for that. Mobile Metal. Love me some Mobile Metal. For $1.99 says, just know this, Hip Hop Hippie. A sextant is not a bedroom toy. Dandelion, if he's like, hey, how about that? No. You say, no, Hip Hop Hippie, I'm not interested. That is not...
I genuinely like her opinion of how you think your husband did there. I'm not being nasty. What is your opinion on how Hip Hop Hippie performed? His attitude, from his lack of knowledge, from just reading a Wikipedia article as his evidence, to refusing to do the challenge. Well, how do you feel about his performance?
The emails going back and forth was like he agreed to the conditions, that he was going to show how it worked and then use the information to predict where on Earth, or to calculate where on Earth the person was at, and refused to do it. I mean, that tells us a lot about Flat Earth. Oakley, QE, 10th Man, you have nothing. You have absolutely nothing.
Well, here's the thing, right? I would like this challenge to be open to any flat earther, not just Hip Hop Hippie, but any flat earther out there. If you can come and demonstrate to us how a sextant works on a flat earth, and use that information and the methodology you describe to figure out your location on Earth the way that I did, you know, we can do this. I'm sure Toon would be happy to do this all over again.
Absolutely. I mean, what? It's a sad day for Flat Earth. Well, I mean, every day that the sun sets is a sad day for Flat Earth, because the sun could never set. They don't even have an answer for that. All right, Robert Luscombe says for $4.99, Toon, will you do a video using a sextant to navigate Lake Titicaca? People keep sending me the Animaniac song. I should test to see if I can put that on here.
Warner Brothers will strike you faster.
I know, that's the problem. From Lost Anna for 20 CZK. Is that Czechoslovakian currency? Says, started to relearn maths, plural, weird, 'cause of you, Toon. And one of these, and sending hearts. Thank you for that, Lost Anna. I'm glad. I've done a lot more math since I started doing this than I had done before. So it's been a learning experience for all of us.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's just a misunderstanding on the Flat Earthers' point apart, and they're just doing meth instead. I mean, it's the only thing that makes sense.
Not even once. Did you know? I watched
so much. It's really good.
I watched a documentary on World War II, and that Germany gave their guys meth to keep them awake and fighting. Mm-hmm. That's how Germany did so. They went for 3 days nonstop to get down to France because of that.
I don't think I would like to fight a sleep-deprived 3-day going method.
No.
I mean, no.
That's those guys. That'll try. That'll drive you crazy. Many Karen for 10 shekels says, is it optical or geometric horizon? It would be, the optical horizon, because that's the only thing you can see with your optical senses. How weird is that?
Flat Earthers don't understand that nothing is physical that we see.
Yeah.
They're at the moment they're passing around a clip of me, and they're like, "Oh, look at this stupid thing FTFE said. Ho ho, what a dumbass!" And it's me saying that if you look at your hand, you're not actually seeing your hand. You're seeing your hand refracted through the atmosphere between your eyes and your hand, and you're seeing your hand slightly back in time. You never see the physical anything. Not only that, but the light goes through our eyes, gets flipped upside down, and then decoded by our brain.
Yeah, it's all processed. Yep. That's all it is. Misunderstanding. Tim Tully says for $5, horizon does not mean horizontal. And that's if you have to play word games to support your shape of the earth belief, you have automatically lost. Did you freeze?
Apparently Nathan Thompson's about to be on Modern Day Debates. Well, that sounds like something I don't want to watch.
Why? That's desperation to bring him back on there.
I mean,
like tonight he's going to be on?
Yeah. Right, here's the thing, right? I would let Nathan come onto my channel, but I wouldn't debate him. I'd just constantly mute him and mock him until he ran away.
He's only good for mocking. Stringer News 1 for $5 says, Hip Hop Hippie, did you know that there's medication or medicine to treat your curved adjacent? Ask your doctor. They keep saying curved adjacent. There's nothing curved that you're measuring.
Oh my God, Nathan Thompson and Davey.
Against who?
Benjamin and Snake was right.
Well, Snake is decent. I don't know who Benjamin is.
Nathan Thompson and Davey Durant, Waters level. I mean, he's right.
Davey's fake. I don't think Davey's serious.
No, I don't. I just like poking him because he makes dumpster fires.
Yeah. I love this one. Craig. The person's name is for $2, £2 for €2.
He does that to me.
I love that. Good job. That's sneaky.
Yes, Reapers, man. Davey Durant, that the very same.
So what was that?
He asked, "Is it Davey Durant?" I was just saying yes, it was.
That's desperation.
Yeah.
To get to that. Tell you what, people, if you want to debate a flat earther on a platform, we've got a platform right here. The SC Toon Show. All right, Alyssa for $2 says, Toon, I hope you make them show the math they used. And that was totally not necessary because he waved the white flag. Basically admitting that you can't use celestial navigation on a flat earth. Oh, poor guy. Poor guy. You almost feel bad for him, you know?
I'm not going to do the challenge because it proved that you can't do it.
LB Stuff Things and More says the same thing. It says participants must show their work. There you go. Alyssum says HHH surrendered. Easy win. Yes. Oh, I kept asking. I was asking you. I was asking other people. What's he going to do? Because he agreed to show this. My guess was that he would not show. Who's surprised that he showed?
Oh, no. He's got so big of an ego. He has to show.
Yeah. He's never not showed. Even knowing that he's going to lose, he each game.
I saw some people that were shocked that as a husband, I knew the date of my anniversary. Here's the thing. If you like sleeping in a bed at night instead of the sofa, that's a good thing to know.
Yes. It's mine is the 37th of Yestober.
Yes.
Sarah Jones for £5 says, do the stars' light even come in parallel on flat Earth? No, they would not. Of course, they're not truly parallel ever, but they're close enough to parallel that the measuring instruments we're using cannot distinguish. But on flat Earth, they would be just very much unparalleled.
Like the light from Polaris would, the rays from, say, the equator to the North Pole would probably be like a billionth of a degree off. It's practically parallel. And it's like that with every star.
You just got timed out.
I got timed out. Who's timing me out?
That was King Crew. All right, everybody, you get a chance to time out FTFE once.
I'll allow it.
I'll make him a mod again. All right.
Because we call the angular elevation above the horizon the altitude.
Yes.
It confuses the poor flatties' brains, right? Because they instantly think, oh, well, that means we know how high it is above the Earth.
The angular altitude, yes.
Yeah,
That's-
but then they will start showing. As I showed with my demonstration, you don't use triangles. You just use angles, and the co-angle to that. That's all you need to use. And because the light's parallel, it's also going to be that angle at the center of the Earth from where it's coming in. But on a flat Earth, it doesn't work like that. On a flat Earth, the way that they do it, by using literally a triangle, you would physically be able to calculate not only the altitude, but the actual position of a star.
Yeah,
but the
easy.
problem is, as soon as you do that from two different positions, you're screwed because it won't agree.
That if the Earth were flat, it would the basic geometry would tell us everything we need to know.
Like Bob the Science Guy says, there is no adjacent. I didn't have an adjacent. Watch back my presentation. There was no adjacent. I just had the angles. That was
they changed it because Quantum Eraser. I don't know if QE does much of this, but Oakley and 10th Man and Mitchell figured out that they got beat around the slapped up a bit because there's no triangles in it.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're trying, when they say curved adjacent, they're talking about this one here. Nope. So the adjacent, there is an adjacent to an angle. You can have an adjacent without a triangle.
Yeah.
Right? So Bob the Science Guy, I would say there is an adjacent, but it's not curved, it's straight. And the fact that there is a dip tells you that it's not this. Right?
Yeah.
You can always measure a dip, even from low elevation. It's much larger at high elevation, but there's always this dip. If the Earth was flat, there'd be no dip.
Saying owned, still undefeated. He's
Yes.
got to be a fucking right?
Yes, you did own, and you still are undefeated. What an
You're right. I am.
absolute, I mean, seriously, hip hop hippie, what a complete loser you are. To come on here to try to do that and just basically wave the white flag. A pathetic showing.
So bad. Like, the curved adjacent thing to me is so ridiculous because we don't use the surface of the Earth, be it flat or curved. We don't use the surface of the Earth as part of our measurements. So the only curve that there is the curve of the Earth, but that wouldn't be an adjacent, even if we were using triangles in the way they think we are, which we're not.
Bob has a good point. All right, so this is not a triangle because there's no side here that we're looking at.
Yeah.
But when you're measuring an angle here, there are actually two lines. So which adjacent are they talking about, Bob? Excellent point. I love that. Which adjacent? This one that's straight or this one that's straight?
Well, how do they even explain the fact that we've got to have a dip correction?
Well, there's a problem for them. A bit of a discrepancy.
Because for one, that does kill the argument of the horizon rising to eye level, right?
Yes, and it's Eric Dubé's point number 2 that flat earthers still post his 200 not proofs about not anything. They still post it, and never has the horizon risen to eye level.
No.
Never has a measurement been shown. So this one,
with that.
hold on, Paul.
This whole sextant thing as proof of flat Earth, then that means they have to drop the claim that the horizon rises to eye level because you can't have them both.
Yeah, that's true. Paul says, I love this, but you guys are still terrified to debate the great Daniel Pratt. Bring it on. I love his grill with the pipe around it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. P Barnes for $5 says the fight didn't even start. Hip Hop Hippie knocked himself out at the weigh-in.
Yes, he did.
Oh my gosh, that's perfect. Alyssa for $2 says message. My prediction was correct. What do I win? You win the satisfaction that the Earth is not flat, and Hip Hop Hippie got himself destroyed again. He came here. He came here with a Dillon minigun, pointed it at his feet, and unloaded an entire ton of rounds. Absolutely.
Is he still there in the chat?
He was timed out.
Why did you rage quit? Why did you run away?
He can still come in and explain how to use a sextant on flat Earth.
Because here's the thing. You didn't actually explain how a sextant works on a flat Earth. You just said curved adjacent a few times.
He had nuh-uh. That was it.
That was. You didn't actually explain the function of a sextant to find your location if the Earth is flat. I was disappointed.
It's this. All that flat Earth brings is nuh-uh. Because they never talk about flat Earth. They always talk about not globe. That's all they ever try to do. If they were to bring measurements of flatness, that would be an actual thing, right? Here's a measurement. They don't have a measurement. Right? Rags says for $2, flat earthers need to hire a PR person. Oh, who would they hire? Who would back them?
At this point, I'm genuinely thinking of just starting a flat Earth channel because I could do it so much better than them.
Yeah. We've got from Bridge to Divide, which is that's JL Warren. Ooh. JL Warren on the SC Toon show demolished Eric Jewell last. Eric Jewell was an absolute child. So the point of our SC Toon show is to have decent debates. So Eric Jewell was a petulant child. He will never be allowed back on again. That is not the type of person that is eligible to be on there. But JL Warren did a fantastic job. So thank you. But for $1.99, he says, Lahu Zahur. Oh, I do love almost said Austin Powers. Pet Detective. Or is that the
PJ said you both need to attend some flat Earth school with Mitch. He's one of the main sextant.
Oh, Mitch has no clue. Anyway, who timed out PJ Net? You don't need,
don't time out his fun.
Don't time him out. Only time people out if they're being abusive. That's it. Or if their name is 33UC.
You guys know what happened when I asked if I could go on to Mitch's channel, right? He tried to charge me £500. When I said no, then he said that I could come on as long as I agree to not stream it, not let anyone else stream it. If I do an after show or I go on anyone else's channel for an after show, he has to receive all super chats, even if it's not my channel. And then he said that I wasn't allowed to mirror, I wasn't allowed to clip or take any of the debate or do any commentary on it at all.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you. Are you here to explain how a sextant works, or to lose again?
I'm here to laugh at you guys. You totally proved my point.
No, you don't understand geometry. Oh gosh.
Thank you. Thank you for admitting that horizontal is parallel to the plane of the horizon.
No, I did not admit that, liar. Why are you lying? Why do you think you have to lie about it?
Why are you lying? You're
horizontal. I'll explain it. I'll explain it again, and I'm going to mute you because I don't want you to overtalk me. Horizontal is a plane orthogonal to the downward direction. It diverges from the surface of the Earth, which is curved. Surface of the Earth curved. Horizontal, which is orthogonal to the vertical. Right there. That's what that means. All right, go ahead. You can unmute and explain your misunderstanding of geometry.
Citation needed.
That would be Euclid, book 3, proposition 18.
Oh, okay. Show me where it says horizontal is tangent to the curved surface.
Yeah, right there. I'll just tell you, Euclid, Book 3, Proposition 18.
So you're the citation. So you
No, Euclid is. Euclid. I just said that.
bring it up.
Are you capable of listening?
Bring it up.
Which proposition is it?
Proposition. It's a Book 3, Proposition 18.
Euclid.
It must suck to have to assume your sphere before anything. Do you even know where your sphere came from? Do you even know how it was conceptualized?
Yeah,
Measurement.
I measured it myself.
No. Where?
All right. No,
who thought of it first?
It doesn't matter. I measured it myself. All you need to do is
who even thought of the sphere first?
It doesn't matter.
It does.
It's a genetic fallacy.
It does matter.
It matters nothing. All right.
Here
is on screen.
Where did it come from?
Hold on. On screen. You asked.
Eden. What, James? Why are you telling these people who I am?
Here we go.
Who's James?
James Eden.
All right. There it is. Euclid, Book 3, Proposition 18. You see that right there? The line ED. You see that line ED?
Yep.
You see that line ED? It is tangent to the circle at point C.
I'm talking about horizontal.
Yes, that line ED is horizontal.
It doesn't say horizontal.
It doesn't need to say horizontal.
That's the contention.
I'm explaining the geometry to you. This is just pure geometry. Pure geometry.
Yeah.
Okay? The line.
You don't know what horizontal means.
The line ED.
Why'd you lie? Why would you lie
E,
about something like that?
The line ED is tangent to the surface, to the curve at point C. It is orthogonal to the line FC, or in 2 dimensions, it's perpendicular.
Why would you lie about what horizontal means?
I'm not lying about it.
You are.
No.
You said horizontal is tangent.
Yes, tangent, absolutely. Tangent to a
horizontal
point.
Horizontal is parallel to the horizon.
No, it's not. Citation needed. You asked for my citation, I'll take it. Send me the citation.
Every viewer to type
Send me
in
the
what,
citation.
type
Send
in
me this.
horizontal.
No. Hip hop hippie. You just made a claim. You will now and you demanded that I provide the citation. So now, for mine, now you will provide the citation for yours. I will mute you. I will mute you until you provide the citation for yours. If you cannot do it, there's no point for you being here because you demanded of me that I provide a citation for my claim, and I did immediately. And so now I'm demanding from you that you follow your own rules, that you immediately show me a citation for your claim. As soon as you have it, you may unmute yourself and then present it. You can send it in the chat.
From sciencing.com/calculate-horizontal-tangent-line. Horizontal lines have a slope of 0. Therefore, when the derivative is 0, the tangent line is horizontal.
There you go. Another one. Thank you for that. And thank you, Hip Hop Hippie, for coming on again to be an absolute failure.
Has he left?
No, he's still here. He's muted. And as soon as he sends in the chat the citation for his claim, following his very same rules, then he can come back.
You ever heard of a dictionary?
All right.
Yes or no?
You are muted.
Yes. Let's say level is curved. Yes, we've heard of many of them.
Yes, you're muted until you send in the chat your citation. So, but now the dictionary, I have it. Is it here? Yeah, the very bottom here. This dictionary. I'll put Pretty Craig up here. Too many books. So this dictionary right here.
Right. So,
hold on. Let me. This dictionary. You see this one? Hip Hop Hippie. This dictionary says, this is the Webster's dictionary. It says level, having no part higher than another, conforming to the curvature of the liquid parts of the Earth's surface. So if you want to talk about dictionaries and level, right here. If you're going to go dictionary route, Don't cherry pick. Take it all. All right, Craig, go ahead.
It's all right. That's basically what I was going to say.
Okay,
What you just done.
He has not put his citation as he demands. He demands of himself the citation. So let's see. Hold on a second. FTFE. Just because MC Toon called you pretty, I must bring balance back. You're the opposite of pretty. What? That was a little.
You'll know I'm fucking gorgeous. Look at this. I mean, I think the problem is that they cherry pick so much they don't even take like the whole thing from what they cherry pick, because technically a horizontal line is parallel to the plane of the horizon, but that doesn't mean that horizontal is is a plane of the it's
so
it was just a flat line,
so bumpy earther says not level, and yes, I know not level. I was talking about the usage of dictionary. So if you're going to cite a dictionary, don't cherry pick from the dictionary.
Not level.
You say dictionary, immediately the definition of level comes in. Got it? As soon as you say dictionary. Level is a curved surface.
Back on, Puss. Well, can I suggest that we let him back on if he agrees to explain how a sextant works on a flat Earth?
Okay. That's so funny. So there's your two chances. You can provide a citation for your claim, as is your demand. That is how you demanded that I do things. So, which I instantly did. So you can do that. Or you can explain how a sextant works on flat Earth. I know it's not possible.
George Pratt says, I'm waiting for Craig to tell Toon how to pronounce Craig. It hurts my ears. I can't imagine how it feels for him.
That I say Craig?
Yeah.
That's like it's got an E?
I've spent so much time dealing with flat earthers, not flat earthers, sorry, Americans. I don't know why I took those two together. I've spent so much time dealing with Americans that I've heard Craig pronounced so many different ways, from Craig to Greg to Greg to JM Truth, spelling it Girag Guruk or something. I'm immune to it at this point.
That is how I don't know anybody that doesn't say it that way. Maybe I'm just deaf to how I say it, but yeah, we say it with an E sound.
Yeah, because you're wrong.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, send the queen to set me straight, I guess.
I'll give Liz a call.
Elizabeth.
Hold on. I'm going to hold up 2 words on this board. I want you to pronounce this one.
Craig.
Now pronounce this one.
Craig.
You just said the same thing twice.
Sorry. It's weird. It is weird. Like milk, we pronounce with an E. What do you say?
Yeah, that's weird. Milk.
Yeah, you say it with an I.
Yeah, because that's how it's spelled.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, Marty Mad Scientist for 5 Canadian dollars says define plain where the rain falls in Spain mainly.
I've seen the rain down in Africa.
Oh my gosh, we're talking about My Fair Lady. Have some class.
No, have you met me?
Room 237 for $2 says Hip Hop Hippie got lost and sailed off the edge. So sad. Yeah, imagine using just flat Earth geometry on a ship. You'd die.
Quick, we're losing. We're taking on water. We need to figure out where we are so we can call for help. Hip Hop Hippie, use the sextant. Oh, we're fucked.
He'd sit there and say, "No, not gonna do it." Curved adjacent. Curved adjacent. Golden Knight says, "Don't forget that MC Toon also has a Midwest accent. Please, I have no accent. Everybody that I know talks just like me. Therefore, I have no accent."
Do you know that cows have regional accents?
What?
Yeah, it's true. Like in France, they go "le moo."
Oh.
No, but they do. Cows have regional accents. Their cow dialect changes based on where they are.
I'm going to need the peer-reviewed research on that. Send the DOI links.
I reckon there might be some.
All right. David Oliver for 10 pounds says, hello, MC Toon. I'm getting into Diorama's book, Nooks. Oh, Diorama book Nooks. And I'm going to make a Harry Potter diorama out of matchboxes. I'm going to learn stuff I don't know about. Amazing. I love that. Have you seen those diorama book Nooks?
No.
No. Oh, they're super cool. They have like diagonal alley, Harry Potter that you put between books on your bookshelf, and it looks like and there's lights in it. It's really cool. Some of them are crazy expensive.
So language specialists from the University of London studied cows, and they found that cows from different herds have different moos. So, yeah, animals can have regional accents just like humans.
It's funny. Pat G says, came here for the challenge, stayed for the comedy. That was glorious. It was. Thank you, Pat G.
Comedy was the flat earther trying to show how a sextant was.
Oh, I mean, seriously, you know what I'm doing? I Flat Out Hero owes me $50,000. He owes the charity $50,000. He owes me $50,000. I told him to keep it, and I will issue flat Earth challenges. So I'm going to issue a $10,000 flat Earth challenge to use just celestial navigation and flat Earth geometry to do this very same thing. I'll give them 3 star angles, and they can tell where it is on the flat Earth. Yes, kitty. I've got a kid here.
Mike says, if you tell a flat earther that we're sinking, he'd be like, "We're not sinking. We're just converging. It's going into the vanishing point."
Yes, we're just going into the vanishing point. Here you go. Here's Raccoon.
Oh,
look at the camera, Raccoon. There you go. Good kitty.
Here's Esmeralda. Sleepy kitty. Soft kitty, warm kitty.
Oh my goodness. Look, can you hold it? Yeah, upside down. Look at that. The paws just go limp. All right. We turned into lolcats. Truth Nerds for $2 says it was a setup. You used numbers. So unfair.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep. Flat Earthers, sorry. Let's see. Somebody's a member for 13. I missed that. Hold on. He'll claim victory. There it is. Gary IOW says he'll claim victory and say you admitted it's flat.
Which we didn't. I explained exactly how it works. You use a tangent to the surface as your baseline, not the surface of the Earth. Curved adjacent is one of the dumbest things you morons have come up with.
Not understanding things is how flat earthers think they prove flat Earth. 600 people watching you play with cats. Yes. Now, you know what, Craig? It might be a good time to give a little hint about what we've been talking about.
Top left. Yeah, top left.
Top left.
So this is the Dunning-Kruger chart. Right?
Can you make it more spiky?
Yeah, I'll get a proper one up.
Top left.
Right.
Are you getting what? Are you?
Yeah, I'm going to draw it better.
Okay. All right. Good.
Right. So this is the Dunning-Kruger effect, right?
There you go.
So everyone starts down here not knowing anything, right? We don't know anything at all. And then flat earthers, they learn a couple of words or they read a few sentences and they instantly go up to here, which is a place we call the peak of Mount Stupid. Because just as you learn something, you don't know anything. But for some reason, a lot of people think they know everything. And then what happens is the more you learn, you realize that you know less and less. So we get down here, and we call this point here the Valley of Despair. Because at this point, we started to learn a little bit, and it feels like we're never going to understand. But then this here is called the Slope of Enlightenment, because the more you learn, the more you practice at the thing you're doing, the better you become and the more you understand. And then you reach up here, which we call the Plateau of Sustainability, when you have sufficient knowledge to be able to know what you're talking about. However, flat earthers live here, which is an area we call the top left. Isn't that right, Toon?
Absolutely, top left. So flat earthers rarely win anything, and rarely would be accused of being top of anything, but we wanted to give them a chance to be top of something. So they get to be top left. So
yeah, that's the toppest they're ever going to get.
So it's a competition.
Yes.
Amongst the flat earthers. So that is, I think that's all that we're going to give for the preview. But it will be a competition for them. A topic of discussion over the next months.
Jose J.G. Gonzalez, how very dare you? Apparently, I'm the king of Dunning-Kruger.
What?
After going to university for many years and studying what I have and using sextants and understanding, I'm the king of Dunning. Apparently, I live here. What? I'd say I'm somewhere around here.
Well,
because there's loads more to learn.
I'm hoping he's just messing with you. I like Jose.
Sometimes.
I always like Jose. Oh, he did the goofy face. We'll go with that. We'll go with goofy face.
One here is responding to somebody, and I see his response is, that makes zero sense. I'm just going to assume that's him not understanding something.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Norman Dixon for $5 says, FTFE, you showed how it's done because you understand how to do it. Good job. No matter if you used an algorithm or did it by hand, you knew how.
That's the point.
There you go.
And, I could sit here and get all the charts out, from the internet and, spend ages doing all the maths individually and get the same answer. But I don't need to, because that's all been done. And using the methodology that I described, that's exactly how I gave that answer to within a few degrees of the longitude and latitude. I think 3 degrees off of both is pretty damn good.
Yeah. Well, and what did, oh, look at that. The cat just jumped up on my shoulder. And of course, Hip Hop Hippie had nothing. Nothing at all. Facty says, for $2.79 Canadian, says, would a sextant work on Lake Titicaca?
Yes. Now, here's one thing that flat earthers haven't really addressed about the sextant, Toon, and that's the fact that we've used sextants in space.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know how they, what method they used as kind of their base points? Because you can't really look at the horizon of the Earth from that far away. So they actually used the Terminator line
of the Earth.
Yeah, and compared that with the angular elevation to a celestial body.
Oh, interesting.
And with some very severe corrections, got the same results. But that's actually they actually managed to use a sextant in space to calculate the corrections and stuff they needed. It's very very impressive, but also an absolute demonstration of the fact that it works because the Earth is a sphere.
Yes.
Yeah, Pearlfish is right. They use space weights to get the angle. Not really. This is weight. This is space weight.
Oh, good old that guy. Grand price for who's been a member for 20 months. It says Hip Hop Hippie, exactly as predicted, as always, ran away. Is that right? Yep, grand price. Um, somebody asked if I've gotten to their super chat yet. Give me. There's a bunch. Lockfish Mars was asking. Oh, it says for $2. I guess Hip Hop Hippie lost his Flat Earth Nautical Almanac. That's a problem for them because the Nautical Almanac is completely based on the presumption that the Earth is a sphere. So how could it possibly work if it's presuming a sphere?
The thing is, assuming a sphere is irrelevant because the entire function of a sextant is based on the Earth being a sphere.
Yeah.
You don't have to assume a sphere because the sextant's doing it for you.
Bumpy Earth just admitted that he doesn't know what horizontal means. Yes, we know.
Yes, we know what horizontal means. We know.
We got it. You don't need to tell us again. Let's see. Batman somehow super chatted pounds. How did he do that? I don't know.
I think the first word is supposed to be I've, not if. You got that wrong.
In Batman says, I've been to Earth 616. I've kicked Peter's ass.
Right. Batman saying that he has been to Marvel's 616 Base Earth and beaten up Peter Parker, which did actually happen in I think 2002 in a crossover episode, a crossover comic. So there's that.
That would be Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. Spider-Man.
Yes. Armageddon Fire has did a 20 Australian dollar super sticker. Thank you for that. It was a cute sticker. It was a hippo that said epic fail. Yes. Oh, hip hop hippie. I mean, Dandelion. I'm sorry.
So I may have missed this, but are you both evil villains? Well, yeah. I mean, do you get your death laser at the same place as me? I've got a guy.
You do. I've been trying and not had luck.
I'll get you put on the list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's LB Stuff Things and More says, where is the trigonometry wizard Keith? Do you get that? Keith.
Which one was Keith? Was he
a
flat earther?
Says, where is the trigonometry wizard Keith? I'm guessing it's a reference to something I'm not remembering.
Maybe.
I don't know. Sorry, I missed.
Yeah.
But yep.
I think I need to time out Blowwalk 16 who says Spider-Man's better than Batman. Batman doesn't need to be bitten by a spider to be amazing. Okay?
Yeah. Jose, I have another stream in half an hour. And this one coming up is a big deal. If any of you remember what happened last week, this will be similar. So stick around for that. So Jose, I don't have time for an airing of grievances. It should have happened last month during Festivus, but let's see. Our Philosopher King Gaming for $2 says, wait, Hip Hop Hippie, is Earth a horizontal plane or bumpy? Hip Hop Hippie, you can email me your answer if it's a horizontal plane or bumpy. Lockfish Mars says, for $2, I will give my sextant to a flurf for proof. I think that's a challenge. I think I saw a challenge from Lockfish saying something about using flat Earth to use it sextant on a flat Earth. So yep. Holy cow, you guys, slow down. Caucasian Sensation, member for 6 or 7 months, says 7 months. What up, all? Love you guys. Thank you, Caucasian Sensation. He was the one you debated.
Yes.
On the SC Toon show.
Yeah. I enjoyed that debate. That was a lot of fun. It was nice to debate someone that's not a complete asshat.
LB Stuff Things and More. MC Toon can't go over water Polaris Keith. I'm missing. What the crap are you talking about? We've got Thad at the place who was the primary person that got the sextant readings, not from this particular book, but from the book by the same author. So thank you very much to that. Big credit to him, because I don't know much about celestial navigation other than what you had shown, kind of the basics. So, but he says, I've asked them to explain their triangulation. No flat earther has ever been able to, of course. Exactly. Beach 8 for $5 says, flat earth maths just won't work no matter how badly they trust and turn. If they had answers, does it not bother you, flat earthers, that none of your stuff is pro-flat earth? It's nothing. You never bring anything. It's so sad for you.
Captain says, I debated Keith on the 31st of January last year together with Brainy. God, I don't remember yesterday. Don't ask me to remember it a year ago.
Keith. Oh, Keith from Facebook?
Oh, you know what? I remember Keith. He was not a happy person, was he?
No, the Keith I know is... Wow, yeah, he didn't like you. I've gotten along with him.
Yeah, he didn't like I presented evidence and refuted his.
Yeah, they don't like me. Charlie Welch for $2 says, and with that, Hip Hop Derpy was never seen again. It's like a cartoon. LB Stuff Things and More for $2 says, do you have more than 2 stars to measure? So the way it worked is in that particular book, it was documenting all of the measurements in a journey from I think from Canada down to Hawaii. And every single measurement he put in there, but it was on a boat that was moving. And for brevity, I did not want to include 3 stars or 4 stars, right? You can do it based on many different stars and get more accuracy. I wanted to be quick about it so that depending on how anybody was going to measure, because I didn't know how Hip Hop Hippie was going to measure it. I was trying to be honest. And so what?
Here's the thing, like with those measurements, right? If you'd given me enough points at enough times, not only would I have been able to calculate the boat's position, but I would have been able to calculate the boat's position over time, given a predicted position in the future based on the information that you've given me. So using sextant measurements is also a way of determining how quick you're going to arrive at a point. You know, it's a way of measuring your speed as well, because you can see, all right, so between this point and this point, between this time and this time, I've obviously traveled this distance. So you can use the sextant measurements and the distance from known DPs and the change in that over time to easily calculate how fast you're going, your heading, your predicted time of arrival. There's so much more you can do with sextants than just calculating your distance from a particular star's GP.
Absolutely. I keep screwing up Loki fish. And John Rapp is correcting me. Loki fish. There's no me in Loki fish, but there's an I. Sorry. Okay. Waikiki for 2 Australians says, bring back Joey Rocha. He's Facebook famous. Joey's wife recently spawned a new Joey offspring, so they've been busy, I think. Kiros for $5 says, by the way, has 33 sent his evidence to you yet, or will he still support my sending MC2 and my money? 33 constantly pings me on Twitter, and his only concern is whether or not his video is the most popular video. That's what's going on in that screwed up head of his, that he got just destroyed. And all he cares about is that it was the most watched video. which it was not, even though he still says it is. Remember when Reds and you and me and RV were on, right?
That was one of the best streams ever.
And 33 was in, but he was muted the entire time because he would even interrupt Russian vids. So at the very end, I finally let him talk and then like muted him again. So he's like, that's your number one stream, which it's not. But he says that's his stream. It's Russian vids and Reds. And seriously, you and I, we're tier 2 there. And tier, it doesn't matter, was 33. So, yes, he has not sent the evidence. Nimrod for 20 secs. Oh, yeah, Craig.
Sorry, what?
I need your help. 20 secs.
Yeah, that's a lot of sex. That's all the sex.
Says Batman is prettier.
Which Batman?
Me.
I mean,
this one.
Well, let's compare you to say Val Kilmer.
I'm gonna. Yep. Michael Keaton. Greg Ware for 2 Australians says, try being Aussie in the United States. Totally frustrating. Arg. Wait, but it was 2 Australian. Are you, Greg, are you an Australian in America, but in, it's Australian dollars, not Canadian. Let's try it. Okay.
It all makes sense.
It does. Yes. I read it wrong. For some reason, I read Canadian dollars, but that's an A, not a C. So yeah, try being an Aussie in the United States because you're upside down all the time. Like you're so used to it, you have to walk in your hands.
Man, it's the flat earthers from the Southern Hemisphere that confuse me the most.
Oh my gosh,
it
yeah.
Is. Like the one I debated again last night with Johnny O moderating. Right, I'd arranged that debate it's for 2 weeks, and I told him that he's got to bring evidence to present, and
he didn't.
I just quickly show the evidence that it took him 2 weeks to gather, right? And this was his killer evidence.
You got it? I want to see it.
Yeah.
this somebody on Facebook today posted a video where they took a fish tank and they put a level on top of the fish tank and they had water in it. And they put dots on the fish tank on the 2 sides and in the middle where the water was. And then they moved the level down to where those dots were. And they're like, see, it's totally level. Like, how much curve would be in that small amount of...
and the margin of error of the actual stick from bending and stuff would be more than the curve could measure. Oh my God. But then he did present a second bit of evidence to me too.
No.
Yeah.
He did?
Here it is.
What is that? North Pole ESSA 7 satellite image, November 23rd, 1968. And South Pole Environmental Research Institute of Michigan.
Yeah. It's the fact that it's a composite image and it shows a hole in the middle of the South Pole. So the Earth's flat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Basically what he did is he admits that satellites took those pictures. It doesn't work.
So I was like, so your evidence that the Earth is flat and space is fake and stuff is satellites taking pictures from space.
Crazy. They always shoot themselves in the foot.
Oh yeah, they do.
Alyssum says 200 people watching and you play with cats. Yeah. Norman Dixon for $5 says the geoidal horizon is tangent to the Earth. The American Practical Navigator. So that's the citation. There you go. Tangent to the Earth. So Hip Hop Hippie has no citation, and Norman Dixon has one. There we go. Pat G for $5 says Hip Hop Hippie has a giant inflatable sextant in his backyard, which he calls curved adjacent.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Dandelion. Anthony Chicante contacted me. He's like, "Hey, Dandelion wants to debate you." I'm like, okay. And then I didn't do anything because I had like the next couple weeks booked. And then he's like, "Hey, how come you haven't contacted her yet?" Like, oh, like he's accusing like I would be scared. So I message her. She says, "Nah, not interested anymore." So Dandelion, I bet you would do better than Hip Hop Hippie. Let's set it up. I can't imagine. I mean, few people are worse than Hip Hop Hippie.
Bumpy Earth is saying that we apparently proved flat Earth ourselves in this stream, even though I presented evidence that the sextant can physically only work on a globe, and then very accurately calculated the position on Earth based on some sextant readings you gave me.
Yeah.
Based on the Earth being a globe. Yet in the same stream, we've proven the Earth is flat.
Somehow, yeah. Sophocles K says, I've done the math on a 50 centimeter fish tank. The water in the middle would be 18 molecules of water higher than the sides. I can neither confirm nor deny that math, but it sounds pretty close. And for them to think that that is proof, how utterly stupid you have to be. David Oliver for £5 says, mine would go horizontal too if I was a sextant. Whatever that means.
Oh my God. Bumpy Earth still saying you need a flat adjacent for an angle. Cool. Well, you know, we've got a flat adjacent because it's a tangent, which are flat.
Right there. Give that to you again there. Your failure, Hip Hop Hippie. Your failure right there. This is what... There cannot be a dip if the Earth is flat.
No.
Lael says for $5, I'm king of the flurfs and FTFE is afraid to debate me.
Yeah, I'm terrified. Who's that?
Lael. He's not really a flurf.
Yeah.
And yeah. All right. And then we've got Thad Feta Place for $2 says curved adjacent is my new grunge polka band. Absolutely. Let me see. I got, let's see. Oh, wait. Hip Hop Hippie says, I'll come back. Oh, that was at 7 o'clock. Let's see. The guy that I'm talking about, Gregory Garrett, who I'm talking about in 15 minutes. When I invited him to join my stream tonight, where I will be covering some very, very suspicious things from him. He's like, enjoy the show tonight. Yep.
So, Toon, if I wanted to write a book, right?
Yes.
I would just take a bunch of other stuff and then put it in my book and say that's mine, right? That's how that works, yeah?
Something like that.
Right, cool. Just so I know.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Honestly, I read so much of that. Like
painful.
Very.
Lael says, is grunge, polka, and oxymoron? Yes. I think so. I can't imagine grunge polka. So, all right. Well, we've got, let's see.
I don't like it.
Jose says, thank you for the show, MC2 and FTFE, for creating content. That way we have a place to be and stay out of trouble. Stay safe, everyone.
Oh, I'm still getting in trouble. Don't you worry.
Yes. You going out clubbing tonight?
Every night.
All right. Well, I think we got through that. I got another one coming up. So that's the last super chat there. Because I want to prep for this one just a little bit more. It's going to be, like I said, similar to last week. I hope you all enjoy that. Poor Gregory. He's not going to like it. Not at all. Craig, anything you want to say after your thorough defeating of Hip Hop Hippie?
Can I please use portions of this for my sextant video?
Yes.
Thank you. Because I did promise Mitchell from Australia that I would be doing a video on this whole flat earth sextant proof thing. I've been gathering quite a lot of evidence for it. I wanted this debate to help go with that content because it pretty much went as I expected it to go. But I've also got an interview set up with someone who runs a savings school. And one of the things they specialize in is teaching the sextant. And when I explained to them what flat earthers are saying, they laughed for about 5 minutes. So I'm going to interview them about how they teach people about the sextant. And so it's going to be good. So yeah, I am very disappointed with this stream though, Toon, because I didn't get to learn how a sextant works on the flat earth. And I don't think I'm ever going to get to learn that, really.
You definitely won't. And so Glober Mom sent this link, which is apparently his citation. Hip Hop Hippie's citation that he could have emailed to me or pasted in the chat, but chose not to. And so here it is. You're gonna have to look on the live stream. I'm not gonna share it to you. Design of Horizontal Curves by Paul Deutsch. What is a horizontal curve? It provides a transition between two tangent lengths. He right there showed Euclid's Book 3, Proposition 18, right there on the second page. We see a tangent to a curve. Oh dear.
Wait, this is Hip Hippie's evidence.
This was his citation, yes.
But his citation debunks him.
What's that?
His own citation debunks him.
Of course it does. That's what flat earthers excel in.
Oh my god. I thought you were just showing us something that I didn't realize this was actually his citation.
This is his citation. Yeah, it does.
Oh, it gets better.
How he did, now he got a second Dylan minigun and shot his knees off. Oh my gosh. None of this is anything helping you, Hip Hop Hippie. What a wonderful defeat you've placed on yourself.
It destroys you.
Oh jeez. All right.
9 cents, you just know the first are going to hang on to the fact that you weren't spot on, right, FTFE? Well, that's the thing. I don't think there's a way that I could have been spot on because I only had 2 stars, and I know there's a lot more measurements there. Plus, it was from a moving vessel.
Yeah, two sides.
So and I was like 3 degrees off, which is
infinite degrees better than Hip Hop Hippies.
But that's less than 1% error, isn't it?
That's right in there, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I think less than 1% error is pretty damn good.
Yep. All right. Cretan Balls for 5 Canadian. I'm supposed to read this. Says Minnesota Batman. Oof the Joker. You can't be acting like that in the Mall of America, don't you know? Go somewhere else to go get your top the tater.
Stop hitting me.
Oh, well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, FTFE, for coming on. And thank you, Hip Hop Hippie, for destroying Flat Earth yet again. And we will see you all in 10 minutes. Goodbye.